All right, guys. Hopefully, we're having a good Friday so far. Apologize for the silence. Was trying to get a couple of things set up before we got rolling here. But welcome to the stream. Welcome to the match. Like I said, hopefully everyone's enjoying their Friday as the week is coming to an end. There we go. Finally, it is Friday. Finally, we have Call of Duty not only on Twitch, but also on YouTube as we have the CDL event this weekend. We've had a couple exciting matches thus far as I think Toronto took out Paris. We just saw Chicago take out London. Next, we got FaZe versus LA. Should be a lot of fun. Lots of Call of Duty. We have a lot of matches this weekend. I think we're probably going to have 9 over the next 2 days, 2 of which are tonight so far. Coming up here, we have Ascend versus NovaCore Gaming, and then later on we have Envision versus Minnesota Snowflakes. So a lot of exciting stuff going on thus far tonight. Should be fun. Let's see what is happening. Okay, there we go. Getting all kinds of announcements on things, so trying to get it all figured out. But anyways, back to the match at hand here. We have what's going to be a pretty good one. Both these teams are 1-0 with a 3-0 map count. One of these teams is going to walk away with their first loss this season. Not really sure who I favor here. Just to kind of go through who they beat, we saw Ascend take up Possessed in a very dominant 3-0 fashion. NovaCore Gaming took out Get a Grip, and I think it was a little bit of a closer series. Wasn't quite as dominant, but still a 3-0 to 3-0. So this is going to be a pretty telling matchup for each squad, as this is going to be, you would think, more competitive and more difficult than their first matchups, respectively, to their opponents from week 1. So it should be fun. From what I saw from a couple clips and looking at these stats, Ascend, it looked very, very good in their first matchup. Let me kind of pull up their stats here. And it looks like they were really, really good at just about every game mode. Going off of hard point, they had 3 players over a 2 KD. The Search and Destroy, they had somebody go 10-0. Let's see here. Domination was incredible. They absolutely slaughtered them as somebody went 41-11. There was nobody below a 2.4. So, you know, that can definitely be chalked up to a good matchup, but can also be chalked up to them being just a very good team overall. So, Kim, welcome to the stream. So this is going to be a fun matchup. It's going to be very telling to kind of how this division is going to go the rest of the way. For those that do not know, top 3 advance to the playoffs, and then or top 3 from each division advance to the playoffs. The 16th team is going to be a wild card team. And then, yeah, so that's kind of the setup. And this is a pretty loaded division here. Obviously, Ascend, NovaCore Gaming, Team Primal, and U.S. Army Esports are 1-0 so far, but they also have Inception, who is a very solid squad. The top 3 is going to be very, very tight. I'm excited to see how the rest of these matches go, but it seems like Ascend might be the cream of the crop so far. Team Primal's looked really good. U.S. Army already knocked off a very solid Inception squad in 5 maps, so a lot of Call of Duty coming up here. Yeah, Kim, it has been a little while. I'm doing well. Hopefully you are doing well. Hopefully everything with Fear of Steel is doing well. I feel like I always see you guys doing something on Twitter, so that's awesome. Huntsman did win, absolutely. I was a little bit nervous after that first hard point, but they brought it back pretty well. Looked really good in the Search and Destroy, which is a big plus because their respawn is always going to be pretty good, especially with this meta change. But I'm curious to see how the meta change is going to kind of switch things up in this league. I don't think it's going to be a huge difference. Those kind of changes, those kind of changes don't really show themselves a ton in amateur Call of Duty, at least at this level. I don't think most people can kind of run every weapon. Just comes down to base gun skill. In my eyes, the people that have higher tier gun skill are generally going to win gunfights, regardless of what gun they have. But at the pro level, it's definitely going to be interesting to see which teams kind of take off and which kind of sink down a little bit. So I know, Kim. Yeah, it was really unfortunate. When was it? Yesterday. I was gonna try to just do yours, but generally, like we err on the side of getting in as many as we can. And it was just a really unfortunate timing yesterday, especially because Jaden and Cryo didn't even get back to me for your match anyways. So it was kind of a goofy setup yesterday with timing and whatever else. But yeah, I have no doubt I will be on one of your guys' matches soon. I feel like I've been casting just about as much as last season, so that wasn't really intended, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. So here we are. But hopefully everyone's got some fun plans this weekend. I don't know how each state is kind of handling the COVID stuff, but hopefully you're in states where you can kind of do a little something. I know it's not really advised to go out and. Oh, awesome! Yeah, I saw that. I saw he was streaming it, but works out well. But hopefully everyone's got some plans this weekend. Can do something a little fun, enjoy some warmth, some sun, and all that good stuff. Hopefully everyone had a good 4th of July as we're kind of getting into the dog days of summer here. But luckily we do have some exciting stuff coming up, not only in Call of Duty, but just sports in general. Baseball starting up soon. We got basketball starting up soon. Got a lot of exciting stuff going on. Hopefully those go well because those are kind of going to be barometers for the NFL and college football as well, I would assume. So hopefully everything goes well with those. But like I was saying, we also have Envision versus Minnesota Snowflakes later on tonight. That's a Division A matchup, I believe. Yes, it is. Minnesota Snowflakes is 1-0. Envision is 1-0 as well. Both are sitting there with a 3-1 map count, so that should be a really good matchup. Excited to see how that goes. I think that's going to be casted by Morgan Dunn, so make sure to check out him, as we are very lucky to have him help us out. Oh my. Sorry guys, just glance at the match that's going on right now, and it looks like Simp can gun with any gun. Doesn't matter what he has, the kid's just disgusting. But we are waiting for a couple more people here to get into this lobby, then we will get rolling. I don't really have a prediction for this matchup, I don't think. If you held a gun to my head, I'd probably say Ascend has the upper hand a little bit. Just going off of stats alone and kind of seeing what their individual talent is like. But NovaCore looked very good in their first matchup as well. I'm curious if they're going to be as good from top to bottom. I kind of want to see their stats really quick before we move on here. But yeah, I mean it seemed like they won a little bit more off of just being a better team structurally than gun skill wise. Their, I think, search was pretty close. Their hard point, if I recall, was pretty close. Their domination, I think, was really impressive from what my memory was reminding me of. But the hard point, I think, could be heavily in favor of Ascend here, as they are a team that slays out very well. They seem to rotate and lock down spawns well, and just kind of use overwhelming force the majority of the time. So time will tell, as we should see here very, very shortly. As it looks like the Gorillas are actually up on FaZe so far. An impressive start for them in their series. And we are getting closer and closer to the start here. So we're waiting on, I think, one more player. And hopefully we can get a couple more people in here before we get rolling. I'm sure everyone's got some plans here on a Friday night, so I definitely understand at 7 o'clock Eastern on a Friday evening. XP is probably not the top on the priority list, but it should be. We should always be top on your priority list. Come on now. We're all in this together. Unfortunately, I do not have Chewy with me as my co-caster so far. The Raw Prince with 5 gifted. Thank you, sir. Very much so appreciated. You have been very supportive since you joined and have been in the community. We very much so appreciate what you do. So thank you very much for that. And for those that haven't heard my spiel before, the main question that I get before every season starts is, what's the prize pool going to be? What's the total payouts? I wish I had a set answer every time, but unfortunately I do not. We do our prize pools a little bit differently than every other league. Most leagues kind of have a set amount, and then they just roll with that. I don't like capping what our prize pool is going to be. Obviously, a large part of it comes from the entry fees from teams, so we always have a base. But also, a big portion of our prize pool comes from our Twitch revenue. So from everyone's contributions, from 2D, those are from last night. Sorry about that. This series hasn't started yet. Let's see here. I need to update that, actually. There we go. But yeah, our second part of the prize pool comes from our Twitch revenue, which we've been very successful with. Have had a lot of support from the community, from our community. It's very much so appreciated, and it's why we are where we are now. So without you guys, we would not be where we are and have the kind of things coming up that we have coming up. So kind of circling back. Prince, thank you very much for the gifted subs. So those will go towards the prize pool. And I don't like asking for, tier 1s, tier 2s, and tier 3s, all that stuff. If people have Twitch Primes laying around, we will gladly take those, since I hate having people spend money on us if they don't have to. But we appreciate everything that comes in. So thank you guys once again. But I think we are now getting very, very close. I just saw in the chat here, waiting on one person to turn on their PS4, and we should be good to roll. And then we'll get to this, what should be an exciting matchup. I'm looking forward to it. I didn't get to see Ascend the first time they played. I did get to see NovaCore. I did cast that matchup. But Ascend, from what I heard, just looked very, very good. So, and obviously just going off these stats themselves, a very impressive first matchup for them. So this should be a good one, a good test for them, an even better test for NovaCore, as they're trying to, show what kind of team they can be in XP League. Make sure my Codcaster is correct. It is not. There we go. Now it should be set. And looks like we are going to see a Azir Cave Hardpoint. So I think it is NovaCore that's hosting the first map here. This is going to be Ascend's map pick. So should see plenty of AR presence out of them. With all the changes that have happened, I'm curious as to what kind of changes in rosters we're going to see here. Obviously, we have a couple weeks left before roster lock happens for playoffs and all that good stuff. But curious if we see any roster moves for more dominant ARs, whereas last season and season 1, teams were kind of searching for those really fast players because it was basically 4 subs and 1 AR on every map outside of this one. So now we're seeing a switch. We're seeing a big-time switch, and going to be curious and exciting to see what happens the rest of the season. But we are coming kind of dwindling down here on the life cycle of Modern Warfare. This is our last season of Modern Warfare. Unfortunately, we're going to be doing, I think, a throwback league after this, or kind of in conjunction with it, and then we're going to have a small break before Cold War comes out. But a lot of fun stuff coming up, guys. Hopefully some big news in the very near future that'll kind of change some stuff for everybody. But I think we're going to have a slightly different structure coming up for XP Season 4, with a goal of having kind of different tiers of competitive Call of Duty. Obviously, we have our Contenders League right now, but that may be kind of scrapped. We'll have to see. Have a couple things I have to work out, but gonna have a lot of changes in a very good way. Not really changing because we feel like we have to, but because we want to. Always want to be improving. I think we're waiting on 2 people to switch teams here, and then we'll be good to roll. It looks like FaZe is starting to pull away a little bit in their map number 1 against LA Guerrillas. Need to go see what the stats are going on in this series, see how my guys are doing. Sellium not doing great. That's disappointing. Abiti's playing well, though. I'll take that. Hopefully Sellium can bring it back a little bit before the end of that matchup. All right, just waiting on Daedrin and Zemo to switch over to Allegiance, and we will get rolling on Azir Cave Hardpoint. There we go, waiting on just one. And there we go, everyone's on the teams. We got 5 on each side, and we are going to get ourselves kicked off here in map number 1, and what should be a pretty big-time matchup for Division 4 here. It's going to be very telling, as this is going to be probably one of the more competitive leagues, or divisions we're going to see. I think Ascend will kind of end up floating towards the top, but overall, it's going to be a very exciting one for sure. Watch out for Snapper God and Daedrin. I can do that. I will keep an eye out. But we should see some fun Call of Duty here. Hopefully Codcaster is not being laggy today. We shall see. It seems to regress every time I cast, so time will tell. All right. But this is going to be an exciting map number 1. I feel like Azir Cave is always pretty exciting. We've seen a lot of close matchups on this map. I think this was actually the map 1 that NovaCore played the last time I saw them in their first matchup. So we shall see how they fare as they ended up getting the win. I think it was over, Void Nation maybe? We already have Joker with the first blood. Park finds Snapper God, and Jaren finds one as well, so a great start for them. Dater is in top yellow trying to hold down this push, but that's going to be NovaCore with an early wipe as they're trying to push these spawns out. They haven't really committed towards it yet, but a great start for them. And Jaren is just trying to snap on people here. He's just firing, trying to find anything. Nothing so far, though. And so far, the sub pressure from NovaCore has been really impressive. Jaren got into yellow, was just causing issues there for Ascend. And this is a great start for Nova. Obviously, they started on the bad side. Not shocking that they're getting the early time. Ascend is just favoring, trying to hold these spawns. But the person that's in cave could cause some big problems here, I think. Big gunfight. Park's actually going to get that kill. Is he going to get spawns for his team? I don't think so. I think he's the only one there, so he's probably going to take it out momentarily. He is being pinched. I believe he'll play his life. I don't believe so. He's going to get taken out. Ascend has held on for now, and now they're going to have rotations for P2. And we're going to finally see some yellow in the kill feed as Zemo trying to stay alive here. He's going to be able to throw out the trophy. He's a shot from the side, I think. There it is. Park and Ty combined for 2. And Ascend starting to charge back towards that 29-point mark that Nova has set to 1-0. Can I switch, please? Podcaster, let me switch. Podcaster is just abysmal. I can't even switch players when I want to. There we go. Prince, as he's got a decent start here. Dayton, though, 7-4, great start for him. Snapper got a very slow start. He's 1-7. Was just told to watch out for him, and he's got a rough go at it here early on. But a perfect hold here on P2 for Ascends has them about a 20-plus point lead going into P3, which Nova is already pretty well set up for. Jaren's getting taken out by good bait there for Ascend. They're trying to work their way up towards this hill. Already the kills going their way, but NovaCore spawning close. Prince with a big grenade. They're trying to take out the God-heady player. Not going to gunfight. His trophy wins it. Look at the side of NovaCore here. We got Park 7-4, Joker 9-4. Trophy's got 7, Joker up to 10 now. Pretty good stuff overall from NovaCore. And Zemo's trying to get these players to the hill. He's going to be able to find both of them. Great stuff by him. He's going to try to play his life. He's got no support here. He's going to get taken out. NovaCore trying to rack up some more time, but it looks like Ascend is the first to Cave West. Snapper God is there trying to cut down these players. He's going to find one. Daedrin's going to find one. Neon's going to find one. And Prince is going to find one. We have a well-distributed kill feed here for the side of Ascend as they are set up already, and they're actually holding it from the ideal side. Trophy's going to find a big entry kill, though. And if you're drawn up how to hold this, Tide is in such a big spot here. He's smart. Okay, I actually would have preferred him to not shoot there because now he kind of tips off to Ascend what their plan is. He's going for the flank. He's going for spawns for P5. A really smart play. He's going to just keep cutting down Ascend players from behind. And it's not really going to matter. Now NovaCore has broken in. Not really sure where Ascend's going to spawn. They're kind of just in the middle of no man's land at the moment. As Tide is still behind him. He's picked up 2 more. We're out of last. Neon's going to find a couple, along with Prince is going to find one as well. And Prince is going to find a second kill there in a row. And this has been a very great matchup so far. NovaCore doing a good job. And it's been just a really even matchup, but NovaCore has been ahead pretty much the entire time, it seems like. Outside of that P2 hill. There's Papadetti. He's getting taken out by JP, though. Now it looks like Ascend has actually ended up getting the early time here on P5 after a scary situation, but they were kind of pinched. They were spawning in the cave. Tide kind of had the backside covered, but Nova was, I think, still spawning back behind Cave West, so kind of an awkward situation, but Ascend actually benefited from it in the long run as they're about to take the lead here. As Neon's going to be cutting down these players, but no one's in the hill at the moment as NovaCore are trying to work their way through. And Neon's going to get taken out by Jared, who's... Oh, he's finally get traded out by Zemo. And you would think the rest of this time is going to go the way of Ascend, as they're going to try to make sure they hold these spawns for P2. A hill that they held perfectly the first time through, as the leads grows a little bit. Should be up around 17, 18 points. This Tide is playing great here. Tide 9-8. He's kind of just been being the thorn in the side of Ascend here, as he's always trying to come from behind, always trying to flank. Westbit, thank you for the follow. Ascend's trying to work their way back towards that point mark by Ascend. Should be able to take the lead once again here, as if NovaCore finds a way to wrap around and get spawns for P2, Ascend's going to be in a world of hurt. Ascend, though, with 4 down. The thing I would love to see from Ascend here is to try to keep NovaCore off of P1. They've racked up a lot of time on it so far through 2 rotations. But the unfortunate thing is they're just getting cut down before they can even get close. So I guess first priority is holding spawns for P2. And if you can try to get them off it, great. But it's not worth losing spawns over, because getting a lot of time here on P2 is basically their saving grace, as Joker's going to somehow beam Zemo. Don't know how he won that gunfight. But Ascend, once again, is set up for P2 here. But they're kind of behind the 8 ball a little bit. They've been playing catch-up pretty much the entire game, and their saving grace has been this P2. As Joker's going to find a couple more. He is absolutely beaming it, and they have to be careful for his flank here. As Park takes out Ty with the team grenade. That's a big-time team kill, as they were starting to push up with NovaCore. Ian's going to find a couple, I think, out towards the sandbag. And Zemo's going to take out Jaren, who's trying to push through that mid-cave. He's going to find another, as Park was not ready for him. And this dude's about to go right back to Ascend, as Zemo has, I think, 3 in a row. It's up to 18 and 17. And now we go for a big rotation. This is a pretty good, this is a better situation than the last time for Ascend, as we actually have a big gunfight. I don't know if Zemo actually, if you heard the player from NovaCore going towards Cave West, that gunfight's gonna go the way of Park, as that shut down whatever flank Ascend may have been trying to set up there. Now we have a battle for T3, as Joker's in a great spot. He's won a couple gunfights now. And this early time is going to go the way of NovaCore, as they're going to try to get that lead back. Ascend was really close to being able to break through here and get themselves set up. But Joker's being such a powerful position because he's shutting down these players for Ascend as they're rotating. Oh, he's going to find another somehow. Oh, he's going to find another. He's up to, what is that, 6 in a row. He's 30 and 13. He is playing well. Oh, basically got a kill stolen there by Tide. And NovaCore is trying to build that lead up once again, as I expect Ascend to kind of rotate towards Cave West here. Sir Skull, thank you for the follow. And this is the back and forth game on Azir Cave that I would expect to see if Trophy wins the gunfight against Snapper there in Cave West. And now this is going to come down to a couple major gunfights here. Daedrin has to stay alive. He has to give his team a little bit of an opening. He's going to find one. He did not see those players. Oh, Trophy. He's going to find one. He's going to get... Oh, Trophy with a couple big gunfight wins there. He has going to trade out one. He's going to find 2. And this is just back and forth. Ascend with the first touch on P4. Another team kill by Ty there with a grenade, and we see Yellow in the kill feed, as Zemo could not win the gunfight with 10 eliminated rounds there. I bet he wins that gunfight, but NovaCore has actually flipped spawns, and now this is going to be an absolute battle. Not even sure who has the upper hand. It looks like Ascend is sending some players on flank once again, so they're reflanking. And this is a great play by Ascend. The only downfall is the rest of this time you would think is going to go the way of NovaCore. And if this basically gives Ascend no room for error here. Park is trying to find something opening. This is going to pull NovaCore to within about 9 points of the win. Ascend has to have a perfect hold on P5. They can win it there. So that's the only positive, but they have to hold it the entire time. Can't give up any type of touch here, and actually, they're going to get the first ticks as you'd expect, but Snapper God is lost a gunfight. Or, I'm sorry, who was it? It was Neon in the hill. He's going to lose a gunfight. Ty's going to get taken out immediately, but now Ascend could not win here. The spawns have actually flipped, and NovaCore is going to win. I don't really know how that flipped, but I think it was just one player for NovaCore that was back there, won a big gunfight, took the player out of the hill, got on the hill, and then everyone spawned on him. So an incredible play there by Nova. Incredible spawns there for NovaCore. I'm going to have to watch that back. I really thought Ascend was pretty well set up. And it seemed like there was really only one player for NovaCore back there. But just an incredible play. I think it was Ty that was over there. I thought he was alone, but he got traded out by Grenade, I thought. So not sure how the spawns kind of came in and affected that, but it really seemed to kind of leave Ascend hanging there as they could not get the spawns. They ended up spawning out, and then it was the side of NovaCore just kind of floated in for the last couple points there. So impressive finish. It was Joker there. Okay. Impressive stuff, though, as it seemed like Ascend was going to be in a spot to try to get that down to the wire, but a big individual play, or a couple of them, from NovaCore flipped those spawns at the worst possible time for Ascend. That's going to be a 1-0 lead. As this is a big-time match for them. This is a big-time match for both teams. All right, but here we go to the search and destroy. It looks like it's going to be St. Petro. Okay, what am I doing here? Can we stop? No, we are definitely not done. That was map number 1. So we got a couple more here, at least. So let's see here. I think the sides are going to stay the same. But that was an impressive showing for NovaCore. I'm not going to lie. I kind of expected Ascend to come in here and look really, really good. But just NovaCore, I think, had a tougher week 1 matchup. They did 3-0. I have to double check and see who they actually played again. NovaCore took out Get a Grip. Okay, so that was a hot 3-0 for them. But man, they looked really, really good there in map number 1. Didn't know what to expect, but their AR's Joker looked so dominant. Trophy looked very, very good. Impressive starts overall. And Tide, he like, running that sub roll, figured he'd be at a slight disadvantage on that map, but he did such a good job of just, being the route man for his team, getting huge spawns, flanking into hills, being the early rotator, and he played that role just so well. It kind of allowed Park and Jaren to slay out in close quarters, which they did pretty well. Just an overall great map for NovaCore. And now we go to an important search and destroy here, as Ascend does not want to go down 2-0. But I'm curious to see what the sniper situation is going to be. I think Ascend does have a sniper. I believe it is Snapper God, so curious what he's going to be able to do here on Petro. As this is definitely one of those maps where a sniper can make a difference. I think we're waiting on one person to reconnect here for Ascend, and then we should be able to get rolling. Well played indeed. That is absolutely right. It looks like we got teams or fans from both teams in here. Things we love to see. Love to see the support for these orgs, for these players. That's why we do it, guys. Love to give these players the platform and ability to show off their skills. And map 1 did not disappoint, at least if you're a NovaCore fan, as they looked great. And the thing that I'll say about them is they seem to know their roles really, really well. Like, obviously, Trophy and Joker were slaying out big time. But you saw Park with the majority of the hill time, 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Tide had a lot of time as well, but he seemed to always be rotating early and winning huge gunfights. Jaren started pretty hot, but really, really fell off towards the end and just kind of got caught in that AR death cycle. But even with that, the 2 ARs just carried for the side of NovaCore. You're looking at Ascend. Snapper God struggled, 12 and 23. The rest of the team was doing pretty well overall, but they just seemed to struggled to find their footing. They were behind the 8 ball pretty much from the 3rd hill on. They were always playing catch up. Couldn't seem to string 2 hills together. And like after a early ping pong back and forth, I think it was sometime during that second rotation. I think like hills 3 and 4, where the side of NovaCore kind of pulled ahead a little bit, and then obviously that unfortunate spawn in favor of NovaCore brought them the win there on P5. So, but here we go. St. Petro Search and Destroy, one we don't see a ton of. Generally see Arklov or we see Gunrunner or something like that, but we are going to see Petro here. And map number 2. Not sure who this is going to favor. If Snapper God makes an impact with the sniper of his, it should be a decent setup or opportunity for Ascend to tie this up. But this NovaCore team is not one to be messed with, as they looked very good on map number 1. Here we go. I think Ascend already had somebody lag out, or they're starting late. Not really sure what's going on here, but oh, he did get in late. It looks like shots already fired, so I think this round's going to count. And Nemo's not going to be able to get in, but Neon's going to find it first with the sniper. I thought it was Snapper God that sniped, but apparently it was Neon. So now we actually have a 4v4, as Zemo did not get in. That's unfortunate for Ascend, as Tide did get shot at, but he's just going to play his life. He's probably going to get shot on the side here. Great angle from Snapper God, as no one was watching that river push. And Daedrin's going to find one as well. All the kills going the way of Ascend so far, as their search and destroy looks great. Neon, I thought, was going to take out Jaren with the sniper there, but Jaren escaped with his life. He's going to get almost traded out. Played his life at the moment. And that grenade, that was kind of a strange challenge. Joker's doing the last one live. He's going to go ahead and take out Prince. He's going to take out a second as well. It's going to be a 2v1. Oh my gosh, Codcaster, please. But I think these players do know bombs down, so Joker has to pull off a miracle here if he's going to... Is my mic acting up, guys? If the stream has an issue, it generally happens when I have to reconnect my mic, so if something happens, bear with me.